She kind of looked at me and she goes, Well, life's a struggle." And I go, "No, I don't know. Like, life can be a struggle or it cannot be a struggle." And she kind of looked at me very inquisitively. Hello, beautiful souls. I hope that you're having an amazing day. And I certainly hope that you are loving life and living in joy and bliss. That's truly my desire for you. And I want to be here to inspire you to live a life that you absolutely love. So I want to tell you a quick story. Last week I was out surfing and I got back in, and another gal that had been out surfing was in also. And we were chatting as we were getting out of our wetsuits and getting dressed and just talking there. And she was telling me about her life. And, I love listening to people and what they're dealing with. And she was going through a program, and she kind of looked at me and she goes, Well, life's a struggle. And I go, No, I don't know. Like, life can be a struggle or it cannot be a struggle. And she kind of looked at me very inquisitively. And I said, it's our choice. And I continued to listen a bit more and hear about what she's going through. But she's so typical of what I hear. It doesn't matter she was in her 40s, whether it's younger people or older people. If it can be someone that's even retired or starting a business, it doesn't really matter. But I hear the resounding story over and over and over that people are feeling overwhelmed, that people are working really hard, but they're not able to get ahead. So it goes back to that story of what I've been talking about for the last few videos is, yes, I get it. People feel overwhelmed. People feel stuck because they're working hard, but they're not really getting ahead. And I'm here to tell you that that doesn't have to be your reality. Now, I certainly wish that I would have known this a long time ago. I didn't learn this lesson in my 20s or my 30s. I started to learn it in my 40s, but it doesn't have to take you as long as it took me. You see, I thought it was all about hard work. And through life experiences and through wanting to find joy and bliss and being intentional about that, I've discovered what it takes. And it certainly is not working hard, which is what we are taught to believe, especially if you have parents like I had, where it was all about having a job or having 2 jobs, whatever it took. And yes, my father worked very hard and we did have some toys. But still, the overriding theme was, yes, there are some fun times, but overall, it's a life of struggle or hard work. And like I said, I've learned that simply is not the case because we do create our own reality. And as soon as you can admit that to yourself, as soon as you can own that you create your own reality, then you can change it. Most people are too busy blaming other people. No, you don't understand. It's my family. It's my childhood. It's this trauma. It's this thing. It's that person. It's this relationship. But when you can shift from blaming any other person or any other situation, and you start to own that you create your own reality, there's this freedom that will consume you. And it's funny because you might think it's hard. People don't want to say, oh, I create my own reality, because they have to look around then and say, oh, I've created my own reality. But when you can understand that that's the way the laws of the universe work, that we do create our own reality, and then you can look around and say, okay, I've created this. Maybe you've created a mess. Maybe you've created something wonderful. Maybe you've created a business, whatever it is, good, bad, positive, or negative, it doesn't matter, but you've created it. And the faster you can start to own that, the sooner you can start to change it if the reality is not one that is bringing you joy. Does that make sense? And so it truly is about looking around you and looking at your life then and saying, okay, my life is a mirror of the energy that I'm putting out into the world. because whatever I'm putting out there is coming back and is showing me. So one, you have to understand that you create your own reality. Number two, you need to objectively look and say, okay, I've created this. Now what? How am I going to change these things? I can look at my education. I can look at my vocation. I can look at how I'm showing up in the world and ask myself, is this truly what I want? And that's the next step. What is it that you truly love? Now, this gal that I was talking to in the parking lot when we got done with surfing, if I had a longer time, because she was working full time, had a beautiful job, benefits, nothing to complain about. Her children were getting older. She was married, had a home, so many things to be grateful for. But she was putting herself through a 5-year program that was driving her crazy. So if I would have had more time to mentor, ask her some questions, I would have asked her that question. Is this something that brings you joy? Is this something that you are actually going to love to do? And if the answer is no, we don't have to keep going down that direction. I think sometimes we tell ourselves that we should do this thing because it's the best thing for our career. But if it's not what we truly love and what's going to bring us joy, we can change our mind because we create our reality. So if you're finding that you're not on a path that is serving you, that you absolutely love, then you can change it. Why? Because we create our own reality. That's where the freedom comes in. I get to choose. I get to choose what I want. And it's pure bliss. So those are just a couple of the first beginning steps. If you see that you are feeling this feeling of being stuck, or you feel like you're working really hard, but you're just not moving ahead, know that you create your own reality, and whatever you see out there is a mirror. It's a mere reflection of the energy that you're putting out into the world. Now, there are a million different other things that could go into it as far as, your paradigms or false beliefs or stories that you heard as a child. A lot of things at the subconscious or at the soul level that someone like me as an energy healer can help you with. So again, if you're feeling stuck, there are things that you can do, but you may need to reach out to someone as well to help you. So knowing that you create your own reality and asking yourself, giving yourself the permission to say, hey, what would I really love? Do I really love my life right now? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Is this my soul's calling? If not, get curious. Get curious. What would I really love? What do I want to be doing in the world? How do I want to be showing up? And you might not know right away. I certainly didn't know in my 20s and 30s or 40s. But allow yourself to be curious and open to what if. What if you could have exactly the life that you desire? What if? And see where that takes you. Because then the following step is to not only be curious, but when you can become in alignment with who you really are, become in alignment with your soul by meditating or other types of meditative practices, then you start to get nudges. Then you start your intuition, your soul starts to talk with you, and you can get an idea. Oh, that would be fun. And then you take that inspired action. And when you take that inspired action, you're telling the universe, yes, I'm serious. I want this. And then your universe goes, okay, they're serious. They want this. We're going to meet them halfway. So please, you do not need to ever say life is a struggle or life is hard. If you're prone to saying those words, remember words have power. So we can really look at our vocabulary, look at our words that we say and the thoughts that we have and say, I don't want to say that anymore. I know that's where all this starts. So when I say life is hard or life is a struggle, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to shift that into something more positive, like, oh, life is so interesting. Or I'm learning every day. I'm learning something new every day. I don't want to do it that way, but I'm learning how I do want to do it. You see, so you can pivot your thoughts, you can pivot your words, But that's something you can do right away. Stop saying that. Stop saying life is hard. Stop saying life is a struggle, because it is what you make it to be. I hope this resonates. Again, my desire, my mission in my life is to inspire you to live a life that you love. But when I see people that are stuck and saying that life is a struggle, it's like, no, it's not. You're creating your reality, and you have so much power within you. Yes, you have so much power within you that you can change your thoughts, you can change your words, you can change your reality, and it all starts now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for a degree or to make a bunch of money or to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right. Like, no. Change it right now. You can be the change. So you are powerful. You are a creator. Go create a life that you want, that you would love. And don't let anything get in your way, especially your own thoughts. All right, take care. If I can be of benefit to you, please reach out for a consultation. I'm happy to talk with you and get you started on living a life that you absolutely love. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.